Yee.
Alrighty. So, Middendorfy, you once again take point this morning. Although I think it does bear repeating that you guys are kind of on your own schedules down here without a good indication of the passage of time. You think you're sleeping when it gets late and waking when it's early, but it's hard to tell. But you trek back into the blank and still forest. Uh, Notably, you do not see any sign of yesterday's progression through. The footprints, even that you made just before settling camp, have disappeared. And keeping an eye out for it specifically, Vinali, you see no sign of any disturbances along the tree line, despite the figures from the night before.
Well, I wouldn't claim to have any real understanding of how this place works just yet, but at a guess, it seems as though those spirits only come out at night.
Oh, I mean, their sleep schedule isn't too messed up then.
If nothing else, it does give us an indication of what time it is on the surface.
It's always something.
Okay, you guys make your journey into the forest, once again slipping into the tree line as you cut back diagonally towards the direction you had been traveling previously, aiming for a tunnel exit on the other side of the Whitewood that will take you presumably further eastward and towards the ruins of Ashkalexi.
Richter, your mic is cued, and I can hear your fan.
Richter,
Sorry, what?
your mic is auto picking up your fan and stuff.
Sorry.
Okay. But you guys travel for a while. Perhaps, I don't know, do you guys talk amongst yourselves, or is the procession silent as you move through the woods?
Minnie can regale everybody with the tales of his exploits as they go through.
Okay. Would this be stories of your time with the tribes or with the mercenary group?
With the mercenaries.
Okay, so you guys get some uh, decently engaging stories of some of the different battles Midi's been in. I'm not so sure if everyone's super into battle literature or something like that, but it's something to pay attention to as the hours progress.
Can you say that you wrestled a bear once?
I mean, that guy most definitely wrestled other bear folk.
The real challenge is in wrestling an owlbear.
Oh, yeah. See, those are the ones that you really gotta watch out for.
Now I've just planted the idea in my own head of owlbear folk.
It's an owlbear pig.
Alrighty. So you spend some time traveling, as I said, and making some idle banter amongst each other. After a certain point in time, however, you begin to see further ahead, although it's still a bit faint and more of a shadow, the silhouette of a non-tree structure that you are approaching that seems to stretch further to the sides.
What is that?
I'm not sure.
Definitely doesn't look like a tree.
Is it alive or something?
Make a perception check.
What? There we go.
From this distance, it doesn't appear to be moving.
Hmm.
We wouldn't be anywhere near the portal yet, right? At least by our estimation.
No, you would have been told as you were leaving and briefing with the builders that probably another day and a half travel once you exit the Whitewood before you get to Aj-Kalexi.
So we shouldn't be at the outskirts of the city yet, so I don't believe it would be a building. Unless some random person has set up a house here.
Maybe it's a abandoned builder's fort.
Perhaps, though we should be on our guard regardless. Who knows what may occupy it now, if it is abandoned.
Well, if anything can survive out here, I'd be impressed.
So, anyone gonna walk up towards it?
Finale will start approaching.
As you get closer, oh, hello, Sonny. He always spooks me because he reaches up and touches me on the side. So as you guys get closer, the structure seems to get taller, or perhaps its true height was just being obfuscated by the canopy.
Looks like some sort of a tower.
Sorry, but yeah, it does in fact seem to be some sort of tower-like structure, or at the very least, it certainly rises to where you think the top of it might even go above the canopy. It seems to be made out of that same old, almost yellowish stone that so much of the builder's construction is based off of. And it does seem partly dilapidated to the left and right. It seems as if there once were maybe walls that continued on either side of it that are non-existent rubble now.
So it looks like I might have been right there. Seems builder-esque.
But certainly ancient. Perhaps this is from before their city now came to be.
The previous Bastille?
Or an attempt at one at least.
Maybe this was made before the This was the former outskirts of the Winter Seeds domain. It did say it was growing.
Yeah, as you come up to it, you said you were specifically approaching Vinali?
Yeah.
Could you make me a perception check as well?
Lucky 7.
It is, as I said, it looks like there was definitely more to the structure before. How specifically the full picture looked, it kind of eludes you, but it looks like this is a very worn down remnant of what was once, maybe something much grander.
Does it seem like there's still enough structure intact that it could be entered?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's not very large on the inside, but something kind of like what I think of, like the interior of a lighthouse, right?
Okay.
Something
Like a spire, kind of a.
Yeah, right. Not very wide, but there's some height to it.
Well, assuming there's no monsters holed up in here, it could give us an interesting vantage point, help us find our way.
Yeah, I don't see any reason not to. At least give it a look.
Yeah, I'll poke around, see if there's a staircase or a ladder or something on the inside that would allow us to climb to the top.
Okay. As you enter, there is a disconcerting moment where the sound of breaking glass that has accompanied all of your footfalls, every time you've stepped forward in the Whitewood, is replaced with like a thunking sound as you step onto clean stone. And you actually look down a minute, sort of taken aback, but you realize that the interior of this is devoid of the ice and frost that permeates the Whitewood. You look around, and it appears that there may have once been a spiral staircase that ascends this spire, but significant sections of it have fallen through over time. But if you guys are savvy enough navigators, you might be able to climb up anyway.
Do a quick scan with the bullseye lantern, mostly not even to see if I see anything, but to see if anything reacts to the light.
Okay, you
Just scanning straight upwards,
yeah, you cast the light around. You don't really see any immediate reaction, except for at the very, very top, like against the ceiling of this spire, you do catch a shadow that spreads across the ceiling as a reaction to your light. And you find as you move it that there are like something like arrow slits or lookout points at the top that don't seem to be letting any light in the tower, but that cast shadows when you cast your light over them.
I'll head back out and let the others know. It seems to be empty, but unfortunately the staircase to the top has fallen into as much disrepair as the walls themselves seem to have, but we may still be able to climb.
All right. Shall we see what lies at the top?
worth a look.
I don't know why, but I'm getting a bad feeling about this.
You always get that feeling.
Yeah, but you know, they're warranted.
It's an ancient, dilapidated tower in the middle of a haunted wood. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah. I wonder.
For those of you that are intending to ascend, are you just, free-handing it? Do you have any sort of equipment that might help you with this?
I have rope, hammer, and piton.
Yeah, some rope could definitely help if someone gets up first and sort of hangs it down for others.
How athletic
Climb,
is?
though.
Oh, go ahead. What was that, Rick?
I was gonna say, who has the best athletics to climb up?
How agile is Cal?
Yeah, I could do that. I've got a 4, it looks like.
I also have a 4 in athletics.
I also have a 4 in athletics.
Alright, rock, paper, scissors it then.
I can give someone a boost to get higher up, and then
Okay.
we also have Vinali has guidance.
That's true. So yeah, who's gonna do the climb? I don't mind climbing.
Well, it sounds like Mish.
Okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
you do it.
Mitty will pick up Mish and
Wait,
hold
we
him
need
as
guidance. Guidance first.
I'll go ahead and give Mish a tap on the forehead and cast guidance.
Alright,
Okay.
so make me an athletics check with advantage and with guidance, Mish.
How do you add the +4?
just roll a d4.
Okay. Oh, for God's sake.
Well, it's over 10.
It's about a 15-foot lift to get to the first section of the staircase that is intact. Even with MIDI giving you a boost and using some of the rope and stuff, trying to pull your way up, it's you're not the biggest person, Mish, and not the strongest in frame. So it's heavily exerting as you manage to sort of, with great pains, pull yourself onto the first section of this staircase.
Mm-hmm.
If only you were like a cat person or something and you were just naturally good at climbing.
Tell that to my dice rolls.
But as you look up, you get a feeling, and here's a choice for you, that you could try and rough handle your way up, sort of repeating this process. Or if you felt a little ballsy and got a good running start, you think you might be able to jump some of these gaps and just head straight up.
You know, let's do the rush action. Because it'll just be hilarious.
As Mitty sees Mish getting in position to start running, he's gonna go, "Oh no!" And he'll prepare himself for the inevitability of trying to catch Mish.
Alright, so what do you need me to roll?
Okay, make an acrobatics check for me.
With advantage or normal?
Just straight. Okay,
Those-
that was athletics.
Yeah, didn't you say athletics?
Acrobatics. So
Oh.
what's the difference between those
2.
skills? 2. So it's still 20.
Mm-hmm. And then with guidance.
Well, you wouldn't have guidance. You can only use it once.
Oh, okay.
And I am not up there to tap you again, so.
Okay.
Yeah, you get a pace going, and perhaps belying a little bit of your true ancestry, you kind of start to nimbly jump over these gaps and trusting the stonework to hold your weight, which it does not so far betray that trust, and you rather quickly ascend a couple dozen feet up the tower to where you look down and your party is a little small beneath you, but you can see you're about level now with the sort of like lookout ports at the very top of the tower that seem to view further out into the Whitewood.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Alright, now she's gonna lower that rope to help everyone else get up here.
All right. We'll just say, so you find like what you hope is the like stablest part of the foundation here to tether the rope to. The rest of you make me just all of you make one athletics check with advantage.
I'll give myself guidance on this because I think I'm the weakest of the bunch.
No problem for Midi to hoist himself up there.
Yeah, the biggest worry is whether or not the rope is strong enough to hold all of this girth.
Okay. One by one, you guys are able to fireman's climb. You got your way up to this higher portion balcony that Mish was able to get to, and eventually all of you are together on it, which does raise a few worries about structural integrity, but the stable parts seem to be holding in this tower. And, you are reminded that whatever it is, it has stood here for however long that it has, perhaps for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
But as you all look out of the viewports, you will see a sight that is very familiar to two of you, and I think new to the others. You see a very dense section of the Whitewood, all knotted together with trees, but out into the distance, sort of perfectly framed by this viewport, is the very large and imposing center heart tree of the Whitewood, standing taller than all the others.
Doesn't seem particularly far from here.
No. But, these kind of views are always, deceptive.
Yeah, you all spend a couple of minutes staring out of this row of windows, and you could swear that center tree was no more than a couple hundred feet away from you.
This place is very creepy.
Yeah, a bit.
As a group, you turn from the window to look back into the tower, and you are still alone. It appears to be a tower just as you left it, except the staircase isn't missing pavers anymore, and it goes in one smooth line straight to the ground.
Do we just get got?
Well, this place seems to be capable of resetting itself. It actually is a bit odd that there was a place in disrepair in the first place. So the question is, did we just get knocked backwards in time, or did the tower?
Well, I suppose we'll find out here momentarily.
I mean, I'm kind of. Wait, what do you mean by we got sent back in time?
Did you not notice the stairs?
Yeah, but it's like it's stairs. What do you mean?
They were broken. That's why we had you climb up in the first place.
So how does that exactly translate to time travel?
Because now they're intact as though there was nothing wrong?
Maybe there's a separate set of stairs?
That we missed in a tower that's 10 feet wide.
You have eyes that look beyond 10 feet?
You doing okay there, miss?
What?
Manali's actually gonna look back out and see, like, actually just, like, stare out at the tree and see if anything looks different than when he looked at it, like, 10 seconds ago.
The tree appears normal. It doesn't seem like much has changed. Although the more you look at it, the more you're almost certain that the canopy of it is swaying just a little bit to the left and right, no more than a couple of inches, as if there's a pleasant breeze.
Do we feel a breeze?
There is no airflow in Agerasai, and there has never been.
Well, now I'm very concerned. Perhaps we should head back down. And I would relay that to the group.
Okay, so you guys go back down the stairs.
Yes.
It's uneventful, as it is a plain tower without much to see. As you get to the bottom, though, you find a much more in repair tower that seems to have a couple of braziers nearby that are aflame. There's a weapons rack stocked with some pristine, gleaming white metal swords, relatively short for the standards you've seen, but they seem to be in great condition. There's a nice rug over by a board that seems to have writing and parchment affixed to it. It's a nice, cozy guard tower.
Head over and take a look at the writing, see if there's anything that I can read or recognize.
Make me a history check. Yeah, so a lot of this is in that really old Elvish script that you found from before. You see a schedule of like what you presume is a rotation with a couple of names, what times they're supposed to be in certain places. You see several just seemingly random notes of poetry written in this Elvish script, which speak of how wonderful it is to uh, live here in the shadows, and that our brothers and sisters suffer under the bright glare of the sun, where we are here and safe.
If y'all don't mind, I'd like to take a moment to copy some of this down. If these woods operate the way that I think they do, if I were to just take these papers, they'd probably vanish the moment we left, but copying them down may be the best way to preserve them before whatever this is, and he kind of like looks around at the tower, vanishes again.
If this isn't another dream.
That's also a possibility. Yeah, Benali will take out his notebook and start copying down, especially the poetry, but also the notes.
All right, gotcha. The one thing as you begin copying that will stand out to you the most is underneath the schedule, as you kind of lift it up, there was another quick scribbled little note from probably one of the guardsmen that says, due for restocking the weapons. Commander Arjun's orders.
Oh, this is curious.
What's up?
There's a note here from one of the guards referring to a Commander Arjun. Could be a coincidence, but if this tower is as old as it would seem, then perhaps there's more to Arjun than he's been telling us, which I suppose now that I say that out loud is fairly obvious.
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows how long this place, or how old this place is? Don't you elves live, well, I wouldn't say live a long time, but, avoid the cycle as long as possible? Look at, Cal.
I mean, yeah.
So it's not that far-fetched that, he could have, that he could have been stationed at this place.
I'll say this as a lore note for you, Cal. There absolutely are Ava that have been reincarnated so many times that their original souls, were 1,000 years old. There are old souls in circulation with the reincarnation process. However, it is very taboo to treat an Ava as their past lives. It is part of the cultural practice that each incarnation of a soul is its own being. They're not named the same thing. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But that is a cultural practice that has evolved in the Braylands. That's not like part of reincarnation.
Okay.
Just sharing what you would know about the topic. But as you guys kind of give Venali the time to copy this down, those of you that look outside will see the forest as you left it. Then you look to the left and to the right, and there are 12 feet tall walls that extend on each side of this tower that just go as far as the eye can see, sort of wrapping around in a circular diameter.
Well, that's foreboding.
You would be very familiar with these walls, Midi, as you climbed over them before.
Was this the, is this the second barrier then?
It is a barrier, but it is hard to place.
Okay. Well, would I think? Okay. Yeah.
Once Vinali gets a minute to look at it, there is the script along the inside that the other barriers have had, and this one will read First Barrier of the Winter Seed.
Oh, well, then we are uncomfortably close.
That we are. So maybe the tree isn't as far as it seems, or is closer than I thought. Damn it, Mitty, how do I get us into this?
You rolled very poorly.
Yep.
Gary Gygax abandoned you.
But you guys are here in this Wayfort for however long it appears to be wanting to show you this side of it.
Vinali is going, even though he imagines that it's a fruitless effort, he is going to take one of the swords from the rack as well and just hang on to that.
Okay, yeah, it's something between like a proper short sword and like a more human long sword. It's somewhere in the middle of that length, but it is remarkably light as you have to. You're not too used to physical weapon fighting, but even you feel like you could swing this sword around and it wouldn't tire your arm out.
This is a very peculiar metal, very, very light. I don't know if it will last beyond whatever this effect is, but Cal, perhaps you might want to take one as well.
Yeah, I can do that. He'll pick one out too.
Alrighty. But just to orient you guys, you are, for all intents and purposes, on the inside of the wall. The guard tower's entrance is from this side, from the side of the center of the woods. So you are free to move about. If you wanted to GTFO, you would need to climb back over the wall. It has positioned you inside the first seal.
It matters not. All paths lead to the Winter Seal eventually.
God damn it.
Will it?
It's a Valoris joke.
Oh.
So, what do we do?
I get the sense that, well, not that this is very surprising given what we've learned about it, but I get the sense that the Winter Seed is trying to call us to it.
But why though?
It's lonely. I don't know how many times I need to say that.
We still haven't quite decided what we want to do about the Winter Seed either. Doesn't seem as though the Arakai particularly care one way or the other at this point.
At least not the cities we've met.
Pardon me.
Well, I suppose we're at a crossroads then. Whether we like it or not, we can continue on towards the Winter Seed, or we can attempt to fight its influence and cross back over the wall and try to continue on towards the portal.
Mm.
Well, there's
The moment we leave this tower, we're probably going to be freezing to death again.
a good chance of that.
That's a good point.
And the chances of death are quite high, but seems like a good way to get answers. I won't lie to y'all, my curiosity is getting the better of me here.
Well, perhaps for the moment, Midi, you and I can head towards the Winter Seed while the other two stay here in the warmth of the tower, and if we do not return within an hour, then they can either decide to try to rescue us or beat a retreat on their own.
If they even remember us.
That's a good point, I suppose.
You think I would forget you within an hour?
It's not that. It's that the Winter Seed had some kind of mental effect that made us forget some things.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
So in light of that, why don't we just stick together for this?
We tried that last time.
Oh.
I'm the only one who made it, remember?
Yeah, well, considering that she likes you more so, I guess, maybe we'll have better luck?
Well, yeah, she likes me.
Hmm.
Doesn't say anything about the rest of you.
Hmm.
Have we opened the doors yet? Or are we just like looking out of windows to see the walls?
There is no door. Like the front entrance, so to speak, is just like open to the elements.
Okay.
Well, I say we stick with Vinali's plan. And then we'll go check out the area around the seed, and if we're not back in an hour, at least try and remember to leave.
That suits me fine. I'm still pretty wiped out, so
Alright,
hopefully resting a little bit will take care of that.
well, hopefully we'll see each other again.
You'll be fine,
Godspeed.
I think.
Alright, Valley. Shall we venture into the unknown?
That's where all the good things are.
You're right on that. We're gonna split the party. We're gonna split the party.
All right. So two of you leave deeper into the woods beyond this first seal. The two of you that are in the tower, I need you both to make me charisma saves.
You really shouldn't be surprised at this point.
Okay. The moment that Vinali and Midi disappear into the tree line, they cease to exist in your memories.
Well,
The two of you are huddled around these braziers, trying to leech some warmth from them. And this was a welcome find on your trip to Ajkalexi to rest a bit and get some heat back in your bones. But any moment now, you guys should probably head back to this rift you two were supposed to be closing.
hmm. Yeah, we should probably get on that.
I can't rest a little longer.
Well, it's like the longer we sit here, the more that portal is just going to be a pain. So,
Well, to be fair, Cal, you still feel like shit. So.
I know, that's why I'm acting that way. I'm trying to convince him to stick around so I can nap. Or whatever I need to do to get rid of this exhaustion.
Yeah, staying by the fire feels great.
I mean, could Mish just activate her blood right to literally turn herself into a walking heater, basically?
Yeah, but that's not a nap, Mish.
What do you need a catnap for?
I'm tired. Look, a couple of hours isn't gonna make or break where we're headed. Just calm your
Fine.
tips.
Fine.
All right. Beyond the tree line, the two of you follow pathways that are pretty familiar to you. Vinali, there's maybe even a tremor of excitement that you're finally able to see what lies at the end of this path that you weren't able to see through in your dreams that one night.
Well, are we getting close? You know the way better than I.
Yeah, try not to get lost.
Yeah, so the two of you follow the path. Although there's not really a specific path, but you weave between the trees, heading towards the very center of the Whitewood, and nothing comes to interfere with your progress. But you begin to see to the left and right of you, sort of parallel, but going around in a circle, shaded figures appear to be walking in the same direction as you. You can't make out any details of them. They seem to be just silhouettes, but they're following the same direction as you, heading towards the center of this forest.
Does it seem like they're moving on their own with us, or like if we were to both stop, would all the shadows also stop?
They seem to be following their own paces, but there's a uniformity in their intention, if that makes sense.
Maybe these are the lost souls that got swallowed up.
I was thinking the same thing.
That could be us here soon.
Given how time works in this place, some of them could be us now.
Ugh. Just thinking that there's another me out there is sounds weird.
But eventually, you'll come to the part that you know quite well, Midi, where the surrounding trees immediately thin out, and there is something of a clearing, just easy 10 or 20 feet of distance between the rest of the trunks and the great, enormous trunk of the center tree, at the heart of which, sort of with the white bark entwined around it in a knot, is this larger than your body uh, ice sculpture of just raw cut angles. It's natural, and yet there's almost like a creative design to it. And deep inside there is the enormous blue swirling soul that's so bright it almost hurts to look at.
Hello again there, winner.
This is her.
Aye, this is her.
You see in the clearing around you the dozens of shadowy figures come and circle the tree. Um, they move only as close as you guys do. Some of them take a knee, others just stand there. But you all hear in your mind, if not with your ears, the humming melody of this forest as it just sort of echoes around the glade.
Mitty is going to try and copy the melody.
Rin, I just want you to know that as you said the words humming melody, I heard a motorcycle just like start to rev up very distantly. And like for the like a half a second my brain was like, did he just start playing something?
How did a motorcycle get in the forest?
All of a sudden, a flaming motorcycle descends upon the scene.
It was just like a very distant
Ghost Rider?
Something like that.
Okay, so you attempt to copy this humming tune. Vinali, are you just standing there or doing the same?
I was actually going to do the same, yeah. I'll also mimic the shadows and take a knee.
Okay, you guys revel for just a minute in this ritual celebration, and actual response from the Winter Seed aside, those brief moments are peaceful. There is no other movement, natural or otherwise, no other noises in this forest. It is true, perfect serenity. And in this brief moment of harmony with the spirits around you, you can just maybe imagine in the back of your heads why some people at one point in time did worship her. There is something beautiful in this communion, and something that's not really shared with any other deities that you can know of. This stillness, this peace. And then you will, after that passes, both of you will hear something in your mind. It is not so much a voice as it is the cracking of ice and the changing of seasons. But you get the message, you get the meaning as it welcomes you once again.
Well, I guess that's your form of a hello. He'll just kind of, Vinali will just like think in his own head.
You don't get a proper response, although you do feel as both of you have the entire time in this glade, just the heat leaving your body. It is, and you've even been further north than the cradle finale, but this is a cold of unearthly experience that you're enduring just being in the presence of this glade.
And he will, once he feels he's hummed the song enough, will probably start focusing on casting resistance on himself, just in case he gets too cold.
Alrighty.
Winter, don't mean to be rude, but it is very, very cold around here. Is there anything you could do to make it easier on us? We're not built for this kind of weather, you see.
Make a persuasion check.
Were you saying any of that out loud?
Yeah.
Finale would add, if you want continued warmth, it's probably best not to kill the living things around you.
Oof.
Alright. Both of you make persuasion checks. For you, Vinali, it's at disadvantage.
Okay. Oh, are you kidding me?
Oh my god. And this is how we die?
Yep.
Right. There is no abeyance of the cold. There is no succor given to you. Although there's no intensification of it either. It just seems impassive to your entreaties. But you get the sense that this entity that you seem to be communing with is understanding you. It is receiving your intentions, perhaps. But it seems indifferent to your words. It seems to be impatient, maybe even a little giddy or excited to speak, such that it doesn't even really have heed for your side of the conversation.
Since our last visit, Winter, I've been quite curious about you. I've done a bit of research, and accosted a few folks, and I get a small gist of what had transpired. It's a terrible thing to be left alone, to be abandoned. Well, I can't speak for your particular experience. I can say I empathize with you.
Very gradually, you see the shadows around you, which were indistinct figures, start to clarify, and you'll see elves, dark-skinned, white hair, male, female, some that could pass for either. You also see Arakai, bent on their human knees with their spider legs sort of folded up in supplication. And you see this mixed congregation, all sort of sharing in this communion with you. You'll also see at the fore of the circle, sort of standing in front of the ice sculpture, the beautiful elven woman that first ensorcelled you into the journey that night so long ago.
That elven woman, the one you used to bring us here the first time, is she someone important?
You get, still in your minds, a feeling of confirmation. Not a word, not a title, but sort of a concept of caretaker? Priestess? Someone who helped her?
I see. If you don't mind me asking, what happened to the priestess?
Alright, I'll roll this and roll 20. Okay, you both take 10 psychic damage
Oof.
as your minds instantly jerk to memories not your own of men that have the form of beasts, bears and panthers and wolves, running amok, tearing creatures limb from limb. You feel them, not see them. Burn trees, tear down stones and temples, and you see the beautiful elven woman when she was alive, and so perfectly flawless in her skin like the night sky, as it split open like a berry, and the red crimson within suffusing the ground beneath her. But then you are back in your seats.
Don't mind me, will I regain half my hit points?
Biddy will, I'll just kind of like thump on his ass. He'll just, kind of whisper to himself, "Damn hypocrites. I always thought I was the monster." But,
What were you trying to say, Finale?
I was just gonna say, you have my sympathies. It couldn't have been easy to watch that.
Can you both make me Constitution saves?
fuck.
Okay. Both of you are fine. The longer you spend here, it's weird. It seems as if the visions you're seeing seem to be clarifying more and more, but the worse you yourselves feel. You passed that check, but you definitely get the impression that staying here. But
You cut off a little bit there, babe.
sorry, when did I cut off?
Staying here. You cut off
Oh,
after that.
Staying here is physically dangerous. However, as you feel the emanating cold around here, for the first time, the elven woman in front of you speaks, and she says, "Please help."
That's what we're trying to do. We want to help. We just don't know how.
You don't understand. We will die.
is she preserving you?
You see her shake her head rather aggressively. It kind of doesn't fit the demure motions that she had previously had.
Are you Winter speaking through that form?
She nods.
What? Why will you die? What's happening?
She gets down on her knees so that she's more level with you, and you see her gracefully spread her dress out as she sinks to the ground. She takes one of her fingers and sort of drags it along the ground, and unlike you, the ice doesn't crack when she touches it. The blades of grass just kind of wilt out of the way. But she draws a very pronounced, jagged line in the dirt straight underneath the ground between you all. And she just says, "They're coming."
The demons?
Then you'll both get another vision of the ground rending, of rock giving way to teeth and flesh as it opens, cavernous, and it consumes the tree in its entirety, and then the forest as a whole.
So that was their intent, not to open a portal beneath the city, but beneath the forest.
So it sounds like they're gonna try opening another one.
Well, this is certainly news that the Arakai may move on, finally.
Yes, but the more concerning thing is how are we supposed to stop them from shooting another portal out?
The elf will say another thing. My children are doing it. They open. They call.
Do you know from where?
Let me roll again. Okay, one more psychic damage to both of you. But you get brief flashes of Arakai and black robes, and in sort of a green colored one that speak in demonic languages in hidden smoky rooms, and you see them conjuring minor tiny rifts and pulling imps out of them and sort of marveling at the process.
We didn't see anybody in black or green robes when we were in the other city, did we?
You did not.
Well, it's a clue to go on, I suppose.
There was one city that was like had a thing about the demon. I don't see it on the list.
Yes, the city of Vales. I believe you were told by the adjudicator that the city of Vales had plenty of infernalists that were happy to study the portal that had opened.
Hazahashi. Okay, yeah. Are they doing this on purpose to purposely hurt you?
There's a very, very human reaction from her. She just kind of looks at you sadly and shrugs.
But it's your belief that if we put a stop to them, then the portals will cease opening?
I don't know, but I don't want to die.
No. No, you don't.
Right, both of you make another con save. Alright, standing strong.
What can we do to help you?
She seems to think, and she spends several long moments like that. And she will ultimately respond, I don't know how to not do this. But I don't know why my children hate me.
As far as I can tell, it's a misunderstanding. They believe you abandoned them.
And you see at this point, she's starting to talk in more complete sentences. And she'll say, how can I be with them or help them when I hurt them by being close?
I don't know, sweetheart. I don't have an answer to that. I wish I did.
I may have a theory. Vinali just kind of pauses at that as he kind of... You can like see him doing mental math in his head before he tries to formulate the sentence, and he says, the barriers that were once here that were meant to help contain you, if there was some way to localize that more specifically, that your power could be contained within your body using that magic rather than radiating out like this.
I wish I knew. It was the Avari that protected me when we fell. I don't think they are strong anymore. I think they have died.
Are those the builders? The ones that made these fortifications around you?
Yes, the elves who lived beneath our home.
There's still some around. They're just... Well, they're not what they once were.
Well, we know at
Time.
least one that was around when this was all built in the first place.
She just kind of nods sadly and says, time has not been kind to my friends.
Nor to you yourself.
But she'll offer what kind of a watery smile at the two of you, and especially you, Mitty. And she'll say, You are the first of the furry ones that don't have the color of the others, the reds and the greens. They always smelled like pain.
I guess another one of those unintentional benefits of being kicked out of your own family. He'll give a pained smile to her. Winter, we can't stay here, but damn it, I'm gonna try, and I'm gonna find a way to save you, alright?
You have my word as well.
She'll nod slowly and say, I will hope you can. If not, will you come and stay with me however long you can and until the end?
I promise.
Vinali will nod as well.
She'll just kind of look up at the canopy above you all. She'll say, how cruel, children. Not even the last time I died was I alone. Why won't you protect me yourselves? And then you'll see the elf disappear and the shadows around you disappear.
Well, I take it that's our sign to head back before we freeze to death.
Yeah. We gotta make it to tomorrow.
We can't help it if we're dead.
No. No, we can't.
It's a deceptively short trek back through the woods, and you find a bickering, like an old married couple, Mish and Cal, who are just warming their bared feet by the brazier.
Miss us?
Budge over. Like you're taking too much space.
I need more space. My feet are bigger than yours.
So? I'm still cold too.
And it's literally not until they step into the tower proper that both of you recognize Mish. Oh, like you notice the presence of Midi and Vinali, and as soon as they do, you remember everything about them.
Oh. Oh.
Don't sound so disappointed.
Okay. How'd it go?
Surprisingly well, considering.
We're not dead, and we get a bit more conversation out of the Winter Seed.
We know what's behind the demon portal.
Really?
So what is it?
We are kind of been messing with, well, they've been making portals themselves.
So... Huh.
This is a situation entirely of their own making, and I don't even think they're all entirely aware of it.
That's mildly upsetting.
That is an impression you would definitely get.
I almost wonder if the portal that opened up onto the city may have been an accident. It may have been, now that we know it was Arakai that were behind all of this, may have been a bit of rivalry being settled.
Could be, but that vision she showed us of her getting swallowed up, it makes me think that things might be more deliberate than.
Strange to think that, well, it's one thing to believe that you've been abandoned by a god and lose faith, but harbor resentment and want to kill your former god is quite another thing entirely.
Hmm.
I don't got a good answer for that. But maybe
Maybe.
we have the starts of a solution. She cried out why her people weren't helping her. Well, maybe we just need to find some archive that would still believe.
Hmm.
Hopefully without needing to figure out a way to restore her to her former strength first.
Well, sounds like you guys have definitely have a few things to ponder.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I know we are slightly over time, but I do want to show you one more thing because I promised to have a rift in tonight's session.
Was the giant gaping maw swallowing the seed not the riff you were talking about?
This was not on the itinerary. So, our adventurers are tucked away in this nook out of time as they discuss their next steps, but we will wax a bit narrative here and quickly look at a few days of travel away to the east in the ruins of what was Ajkalexi, as above a rise, tucked into caverns and caves, a safe distance from the demons below. The congregation of Arakai look on. Blood vanguards stand permanent vigil around and seem to make up the majority of this camp. But most look actually to an Arakai in black robes for answers, a vizier from the city of Vales who spectates below as a tiny band of drones do their best to carve through the demons. Drones and demons alike fall in heavy numbers, but the knot of Arakai, though they lose people, seems to be making ever closer progress towards the center of the maw that waits below. I'll move you over, and this is a rather large map, so you might have to zoom out.
That's mildly upsetting.
At the center of what once was the upper rise of Ajkalexi, there is only teeth and flesh and open maw. The air here is sulfurous and hot, and pulses with the very much living creature's breathing as it exhales and inhales, drawing
As a helmed warrior is kicked into the maw, with a distinct scream being heard across the battlefield.
how dare you write on my demon rift?
I'm sorry, I looked at it and I'm like, oh no, YouTube is not going to like this.
To be fair, does YouTube like anything?
Yeah, that's true. You
But
can erase that, continue.
over, if you look here to the top right, if you can see where I'm pinging, a small band of Arachide drones are doing their level best to hold back the demons that were guarding this side of the portal, with a single bewinged figure sort of taking this opportunity to run towards the gaping entrance. You see her just sort of duck her chin and sort of offer a quick prayer to the holy symbol that dangles from her neck before she jumps, takes wing, and flies into the rift, disappearing beneath and entering into a realm not entirely of the physical, into pandemonium, the hell beneath our feet. And that is where we will end tonight's session.
So, we'll be doing backflips into that, right?
Absolutely.